Hey guys, welcome back to another week of the EV Weekly Wrap. So, not so many manufacturers on the news this week, but nonetheless we still do have a bunch of fantastic news. So, as you guys can see, as always, down the right hand side we've got all the brands there, and let's get straight into it. So, first things first, we have the Geely EX5. So you guys know that it's been spotted already in Australia. There's been some news that it's coming, and it's now ADR approved. So here you can see essentially snippets from the actual approval document. Basically they're saying there's 3 trims, 160 kilowatts in terms of power, or front mount motor, rear wheel drive, and they've got standard tyres or tyre and rim combo at 225/55 R18 with an option at 235/50 R19. So yeah, there's no other information, colours, anything like that. The one odd thing that I did find quite odd, so as I said, the wheels and the motor are all exactly the same, but if you look up here, the variant here is 2EDRW15S0BA. there is S0AB and S0CA. So there's obviously 3 variants that have been approved. The difference realistically, all I could find was the weight. So 1,765 kilograms for this first one over here. Then you'll see on the right hand side, or the middle one here, is 1,715, i.e. 50 kilos lighter. And then you've got a 1,662 kilo one over here. So it's about 103 kilos lighter than this one. So yeah. What could it be, guys, is a variation of seats potentially, like different option seats going to be weighing, say, 100 kilos or 50 kilos. I don't know. What's the speculation? Guys, drop a message in the comments if you guys have any idea at all what it could be. Happy for it to be speculation as well, because at this point in time, the only thing that we know is that there's going to be 3 variants. So, yeah, no pricing, nothing else. So once we hear more, I'll make sure I let you guys know. Okay, so let's keep moving on. The next one here, Tesla Superchargers. Now, this is a photo of, I guess, me down at Albury, which was actually the first V4 Superchargers last year. Has it been last year? Yes, we left last year. It's almost been a year since we've actually gone and done our Melbourne road trip. But basically, the news here is Tesla's announced that it's going to unlock full capability of the current next generation V4 Superchargers next year, so in 2025. So at the moment, these here are capped at 250 kilowatts. They're saying it's going to go up to 500 kilowatts for EVs. And then you can see there 1.2 megawatt refills for the Tesla semi-truck, which is actually currently overseas only. So whilst it says it's going to debut here in early 2025, as in the rollout of these new cabinets, we actually don't know specifically when the first batch is going to arrive in Australia. So guys, if you see it out in the wild, we see something different, make sure you let us know. You can also see down here, supposedly, there are some that also have payment terminals. So if you guys have seen it, make sure tag us on the socials, let us know, because I don't think we've seen photos anywhere of any Tesla Superchargers with payment terminals, so that'd be quite exciting. And yeah, the Tesla Superchargers are obviously continuing to roll out in Australia. There's no shortage of them. They are continuing to open sites, so it's fantastic. And yeah, it'd be even more exciting when it goes up to 500 kilowatts, because a lot of the cars, non-Teslas, that do have and do support the 800 volt architecture, they can absolutely make total use of that, and hopefully the next generation Model Y potentially can as well. So watch this space. Alright, let's keep moving on. So the next one, it's a controversial one. It is Jaguar. So that's what you guys exactly know the brand for. You've got the Jaguar, you've got the Jaguar at the front of the car in terms of the badging as well. That's what the logo looks like. Well, they've taken a whole new twist to the brand. So they want to, I guess, reinvent everything. And so this is their new design language. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know if I like it yet. I mean, I don't know. So first of all, this is the new way that they're going to design the words. So it's obviously a bit more round, a bit more bold. Then there's a J and a J here upside down. It says here, copy nothing. Then that's obviously, I don't know where that's supposed to be. It looks like a grill of some sort, but then again, it looks like it's wood. So either way, that's the Jaguar there. Looks 2D, looks flat. And then in terms of the other marketing material or pictures that we've seen as a part of the whole launch, that's this one here. So it says delete ordinary, live vivid, break molds, create exuberant. So I guess this is all a part of their new branding. So yeah, as I said, it's the first time that I've seen it. It's the first time that you guys have seen it. It's probably only been out for about 24 hours. What do you guys think? Alright guys, so that wraps up all of the news on Jaguar. Let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. They've only got one car that they've actually shown us so far, which I actually want to show you guys now. So let's move on to the next one. So this is Jaguar's new GT. It is a Porsche Taycan rival. It is also their first model, which is supposedly on the way to Jaguar being more exclusive and a fully electric brand only. So as you can see, it's under heavy camouflage. It looks wild. It looks like a really big, awesome car. And yeah, they're saying here, alongside the Taycan rivaling GT, Jaguar's new 3-car lineup will also include a Bentley Bentayga-like SUV and a Bentley Flying Spur-sized sedan, which is underpinned by a new Jaguar electrified architecture. So no specific information on that. All we know on this car that you guys see here is that the previous reports suggest that this production GT will have a range of more than 692 kilometers, power output of more than 429 kilometers. It'll go on sale late 2025 and first deliveries in between June and August 2026. So we're still a while away. But the fact that they have one of these concepts or rolling concepts potentially, it's quite exciting. So watch your space. When there are more leaks, I will make sure I let you guys know. But that's Jaguar. So let's keep moving on. Now I want to talk about Polestar. So I got 2 pages on Polestar. So the first one is essentially here. Polestar essentially wants to be in your face. They want to expand. They want to turn everything around in 2025. They don't want to be, I guess, a quiet achiever, for better use of words. So the key headline here, they're opening 7 new retail locations in 2025 and they're partnering up with multiple dealer groups. So apparently they're finalising contracts now, so they haven't announced anything yet. In Australia, currently only the Polestar 2 exists. So we've got the 3 and the 4, they've been announced, you can order them now. And apparently they're going to join officially in 2025 in terms of deliveries. And those are the vehicles that you see on the bottom left, the Polestar 3 and 4. Then over here you can see the Polestar 5 and the 6. So Polestar 5, they're saying, should have orders opening next year with deliveries in late 2025 or early 2026. And the Polestar 6 is due to commence in 2026. So we're still a while away from seeing these 2 cars, but it seems like as the numbers go up, the cars obviously get more complex and they look a lot cooler, because look at the 6. Roadster. That's all I can say. That looks amazing. Anyways, it says here also down the bottom that the partners they're going to work with, they are existing and experienced retail partners that know premium, that get our brand, and that they're just on the cusp of appointing. So what that means to me is it's coming around real soon. And the fact that the article says 7 new retail locations in 2025, I would dare say they're probably aiming for early January as to kind of kick off the new year's with that fresh start. So yeah, that's all the news on, I guess, the Polestar front. We're going to move now to another Polestar news, but specific to the Polestar 4. So they're saying here, Polestar's local boss anticipates the brand new electric coupe crossover will become its top seller next year, despite the absence of a conventional windscreen at the rear of the mid-sized battery-powered SUV. So in case you don't know, this here is actually a camera. So gone is the whole rear glass. Now, for you guys that I guess own a sport coupe type shape now, i.e. a Model Y or something similar, you guys pretty much don't have a space to see out anyway. It's lacking, right? Let's be honest. You guys really don't have a proper rear window to look out of. It may be useful to just see if there's like a wall there, but realistically, can you see a car behind you? Not really. When you're looking out there, you're essentially just seeing someone else's windscreen if there's someone behind you. So at least with a camera, you could potentially see more. I'm not saying that I agree with the total solution. I'm yet to sit in one to kind of see what it's like myself. But at this point in time, that's what it is, and I just want to make sure that you guys are aware as well that the Polestar 4 design is totally unique, because I've got a camera here and you don't have the glass. Anyways, so apparently October 2024 were the first registrations for the Polestar 4. They're saying that there was 25 counted according to the Electric Vehicle Council figures, or EVC, but they're also saying that part of the 25 essentially are head office vehicles and dealer demos, because customer deliveries are not due to take place until early December. So anyways, let's talk about some of the specs. So there's two variations or two variants that you can get here in Australia, and these are before on-road costs, so you need to add the on-road costs on top, a couple of $1,000 roughly at least. So $81,500 for the single motor, $93,050 for the dual motor. Both variants share the same battery, which is a 100 kilowatt hour NMC battery. And then in terms of power, so it looks like the dual motor, potentially the front motor is exactly the same as the rear, because the figures here between the single motor and dual motor are exactly double. And then because you got more power and you will be using more power, you obviously have less range as well. So 590 kilometers WLTP range, which should easily see you 500 probably real world range. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys have one on order? I'd be keen to know. And if you have seen one in person, I'd also love to know, what did you think? Because I'm yet to see one in person, but yeah, I think it's exciting. It's exciting to see that brands are challenging the norm and I guess doing something different. So yeah, we'll have more information as we kind of go on, as we start to see the car, and fingers crossed we can get a Polestar 4 one day to drive, and I can keep you guys all informed on how it all is. Alright, let's keep moving on. So the next piece of news is the Mercedes-Benz CLA EV. So this is the third generation of the CLA. We've currently got the second generation here. So apparently this is going to be built on the Mercedes-Benz Modular Architecture Platform, which is the MMA platform. And then the, I guess, not so great side is they're saying that apparently this is going to support fully electric and also hybrid as well. So, you know, for the ones that don't care too much about that side of things, not so great, but I guess from a common use side of things, multi-purpose side of things, I guess it's good for the brand. Either way, they're also saying that it can be used on SUVs and wagons as well, so who knows how many cars are going to be built on this MMA platform. Now, if you guys are interested in the battery chemistries, pause the screen here, have a look, it's all on the bottom left. Other information on the car, 800 volt architecture, you'll see two different battery types there, which is a 58 kilowatt hour LFP or a 85 kilowatt hour NMC, range up to from between 600 to 750 depending on which variant you get. Obviously you've got the rear drive and the all-wheel drive, 200 kilowatts and 280. Now me personally, I would have thought that if it's an all-wheel drive you would have had much more power than the 80 kilowatt front motor. But again, you know, it's not always just power only, it's how power is delivered, it's also efficiency and all of that stuff as well. So, yeah. Now, other news that we have here in relation to the CLA. So they're saying here, production of the new CLA is expected to start in Germany and China in the latter half of 2025. That means that we essentially, most likely, won't be seeing it in Australia, potentially until 2026. So we are still a while away. So I do hope that they potentially get to refine those specs, since they are all, I guess, concept or just initial first views. We haven't seen anything that's specifically confirmed to say that these are the variants that everyone's going to get. So fingers crossed, as time moves on, that there's going to be better specs. So that is it for Mercedes-Benz. Alright, the last two slides, well there's three slides actually, but the next two, probably my favourite. Let me show you why. Let's move on. The Hyundai IONIQ 9. Guys, this was just announced yesterday, and you guys know I love big cars, and especially cool looking big cars. So, some of the headline specs: 110.3 kilowatt hour battery, which is up to 620 kilometers of range. It is an NMC battery, so guys, if you are specifically interested in LFP, unfortunately this car is not for you. It does have ultra fast charging though, so 10 to 80% in 24 minutes with a 350 kilowatt charger. So to me that sounds like it might be on the 800 volt architecture. Let's talk about some stats, shall we? So with the entry level long range rear drive, it's got 160 kilowatts, 350 newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 in 9.4 seconds. The long range, 230 kilowatts, 605 newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 in 6.7 seconds. And then the performance all drive, 320 kilowatts total, 700 newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 in 5.2 seconds. So that was a mouthful. What do you guys think? Now this is also going to be a big car, so I believe it is bigger, slightly bigger than the Kia EV9. Some of the cool things about this car, you can see across the front, full width front light bar, parametric pixel lighting that you can also see in the rear, swoopy roof line as it goes down, and boat tail rear end, which essentially just refers to how the back essentially just curves in. Now onto the interior. So they're saying here two-tone dark teal and dove grey, which you can see here. You've got 12-inch digital instrument cluster, 12-inch infotainment screen, optional 14-speaker Bose sound system. Got a plethora of safety features, AEB, blind spot parking assist, you name it, it's probably got it. Some of the additional things that you don't see everywhere though, it's classed in the additional features section. AI powered auto terrain mode, you've got terrain traction control system, you've got 2,500 kilogram or 2.5 tons towing capacity, high output USB-C ports, you've got V2L and a UV sterilizer as well. The one thing that I have read that I don't know how specifically it's going to work yet. Apparently there's going to be sort of like I'm not too sure if you call it subscription, but you can purchase different designs or themes for the lighting. So I think it's more around the front lighting here, or potentially on the interior. We haven't seen too much information on that yet, but apparently that's a part of it as well. But yeah, exciting times. Another 3-row SUV enters the market. And so, as I said, this only released yesterday. And you know what released today? Hyundai's cousin pretty much said, hold on guys, you've had your time. It's my time to shine. Wham bam, thank you Pam. Look at that Kia EV9 GT. Move over IONIQ 9. The EV9 GT is here. Drop the word line. GT line is no more. We are now talking GT, the performance spec, the big boy. 374 kilowatts. So 160 kilowatts at the front, 270 at the rear, 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds. You've got the massive upgraded green brakes that you can see here in this picture, and you've also got LSD. So I do wonder, if it's got LSD and it's got upgraded brakes, how is this going to perform on the track? Kia, if you guys are watching this, once it comes here, let me take this to the racetrack. Let me take it to Sydney Motorsport Park. I want to see if we can break 200 k's an hour in this car and then race around it to see if we can get sub 2-minute time. So, very exciting. Anyways, let's talk about some of the other stuff for the car. So I've noted here, EV9 GT has the electric active sound design, which is E-ASD. It essentially replicates sounds of the gear shifts as the EV9 GT accelerates. So I guess that's pretty much taken from the IONIQ 5N. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about that yet for a big SUV, but I guess it will probably enhance the driving experience. Either way, some of the other news that I've got here, ground clearance and towing capacity remain unchanged. The GT line in Australia, the EV9 GT line at the moment, is roughly $121,000 before on-road costs. By the time it's on roads, you're looking at about $140,000. Now, if we look at the EV6, and I say the EV6 because there is the EV6 GT and there's also the EV6 GT line, whereas the EV9, we're here looking at the EV9 GT, and we don't know what price that's going to come in at, but there is the EV9 GT line. Anyways, back onto the EV6. So at the moment, there's roughly a $12,000 gap between the EV6 GT line and the EV6 GT. So what that means, if Kia Australia is going to follow, I guess, the pricing approach as the EV6, then that means that the $121,000 EV9 GT line is going to stay, and then we're looking at north of $130,000 for the EV9 GT, which means a drive-away price of roughly $150,000. What do you guys think? That is a lot of money. It's probably also a lot of car, because I've driven the EV6 GT and that is a pretty good car. $150,000, so about $130,000 before on-road costs. Hopefully, obviously, this car should be a car that you guys can negotiate. But yeah, it's exciting times, right? Hyundai IONIQ 9, Kia EV9 GT. Two big 3-row 7-seater SUVs coming soon. Anyways, let's move on. Social media updates. 2 key updates. So also on the topic of Kia, they have introduced, or they have essentially unveiled the refreshed EV6. So hasn't been, I guess, confirmed here locally. It makes sense that it's going to come here to Australia. One of the key things that I've read in particular is that the IONIQ 5N motors are going to come onto the new EV6 GT. They're also going to include the active sound, which is the mimicking of the gear shifts and everything, all of that. They're going to put that in the EV6 GT as well. Now, the one call out to that is it currently does 0 to 100 in 3.5 seconds. The IONIQ 5N does it in 0 to 100 in 3.4 seconds. So if they're going to push more power, I would think that the EV6 GT, the new one, is going to be faster than the IONIQ 5N. Obviously, it's not going to be by much, but thought you guys should know and thought you guys would be interested. The last point we have here is from our friend Nirav Bhatt. Red Earth Energy Storage and AmbiBox have partnered to manufacture bi-directional charging V2G and V2H chargers in Australia. So 3-phase mid-2025, single-phase late 2025. There's an article there that I'll link in the description box below, so you guys can read Nirav's article there and support him. And yeah, exciting times. So the future, as early as next year, you'll be able to use your car battery as a Powerwall. The question then comes to, how much is the first bi-directional charger going to cost? I did comment on one of Nirav's posts to say hopefully they're going to sit around, or they won't be more than $10,000. Think about it more over the past week. Actually, I think it's probably going to be more around $15,000 if I can be honest. And I guess my views on why, it's because you think of the Tesla Powerwall, which is, I guess, the pinnacle of batteries at the moment, or it's the most common one, or it's one of the popular ones, I should say. It's about $15,000 installed for roughly 14 odd kilowatt hours worth of battery. Now, if this was to be $15,000 for a charger, you're essentially enabling whatever size capacity your car has. Now, smaller batteries on cars, 60 kilowatt hours. You've got big ones at 100 and 110 kilowatt hours as well, and the Zeekr 009 I think was 116. And so there are cars that are going to be pushing that towards that mid 150 mark sometime soon. I think we'll probably see that within the next year. So yeah, it's a lot of battery, and so to enable that, I'm thinking that this is new technology as well. It's not widely sold yet. It's new technology. Batteries already cost around $10,000 to $15,000. Why would they essentially position the pricing a lot lower than the actual batteries themselves? Because this is the enabler, right? This will enable you, as an example, to have a 60 kilowatt hour battery for your house, or a 100 kilowatt hour battery for your house. So it's enabling a lot more capacity. So to me, it just doesn't logically make sense if it was to be positioned cheaper than that. However, one can only hope. I'm all for the consumers. I don't even have a battery myself. I would love to see these chargers come in at under $10,000. Obviously, once time progresses and technology progresses, it potentially will reach that amount, but I'm not crossing my fingers to see the first ones come in at under $10,000 is probably the key point. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Let's start that discussion too. But yeah, anyways, as I said, I'll put a link to Nirav's article down the bottom. You guys can go read that, and yeah, that takes us to the end of the video. If you guys stayed through the entire thing, as always, thank you so much for your support. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you found it of interest, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And yeah, hope you guys have a good weekend, hope you guys are well, and we'll see you soon for more content. Take care.